Everyone, it's Hikaru here at Hysteria RPG, and joining me today is Anju Valse. And we're here today to give our first impressions on Alpha 2 Phase 3 of Ashes of Creation. Now, for some context, I have been following Ashes since its inception around the time of their Kickstarter, probably like 8 or 9 years ago, but Anju has only recently started following the game, so a lot of the focus today will be on interviewing Anju about his experience so far during week 1. For all of you who are new to the channel or don't know what Ashes of Creation is, it's a huge sandpark MMORPG by Intrepid Studios, founded by Stephen Sharif. Ashes of Creation aspires to be an MMO where everything is impacted by player actions, and it heavily focuses on the player to player choices and interactions between them. It's a game I've been looking forward to for so long, and it recently just entered into stage 3 of Alpha 2. This is the last one and is slated to last around a year. However, the goal is to have a playable live service game with no resets, and it will enter into Beta 1 and 2 shortly after, according to an AMA on their website. I also would like to note that they also stated in a previous live stream that the beta phases will be significantly shorter than the alpha phases, so in my humble opinion, the release of this game is not far off compared to how long we've been waiting. As a rough outline, we'll be going over some of the broader topics, such as the look and feel of the game, and I will do my best to provide some context as to why some of the design choices were made the way that they were. Also, I will be giving my opinion on the topic throughout the interview, as well since this is also my first time trying out the game. So without further ado, Anju, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Anju Valse. I am from Hysteria Manor. I usually play FPS games as my main form of content, I suppose, but I do come from a background of MMOs. I've spent an ungodly amount of time on World of Warcraft. I also played a Classic, in which I ran a guild. We were tryhards in PvE and PvP, so I'm very familiar with endgame content, raiding, and all sorts of things involving MMOs.
Cool. So, funnily enough, Intrepid was asking for feedback on their latest test, and they put some questions out there on the forums, which gives us a pretty decent outline as to what kind of questions I'll be asking today. Question 1 is: how did the pace of leveling feel from level 0 to your highest level? Too fast, too slow, or just right? And what made it feel that way?
Well, currently I am level 10. I would say that at first the leveling is very quick because you're getting basically through what would I assume could be a tutorial of sorts where you just spawn into the game, you choose your starting zone, and you get a certain amount of quests done. And I think that leaves you at around level 5 or 6 if I'm not misremembering. And afterwards is when it gets a little more. I don't want to say complicated, but you have to go like actually seek out ways to level yourself rather than just following a straight line per se, because that's how it usually goes for certain games. You start at a place, you spawn in, it gives you quests, and then it takes you to other places. Like it tells you basically where to go. It makes you follow a certain path, I would say. But in this game, so far in my experience, it's basically been like, yeah, here's a board, here's some quests, and yeah, feel free to go wherever you want. Uh, Obviously, there are higher level zones with higher level mobs, and you quickly realize that maybe you shouldn't be there. So it's not like the game gives you complete free reign on where you would like to level, but yeah, it's very different from what I'm used to. The pace is it's okay. I wouldn't say it's like too slow or too fast. I would say after exiting the starting zone, it's been about like one level maybe per session of playing, which is, I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna slow down the higher I go. So I guess we'll see. But so far, it's been okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised you said it was fast. I mean, like 1 through 5 was pretty quick, but I thought
Yes, it
that
is.
like around 7 to 10 was pretty dramatically slower than uh, most other games that level you from 7 to 10. I think like, well, considerably because the level cap in this game is around 50. And from what they said, leveling from 1 to 25 should take you about 100 hours worth of gameplay. So, I mean, like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's unheard of, But I would say the leveling is kind of slow in my opinion. But that's good. Like I would like it to be slow. I don't think people should be max level on week one. And from what I can see, I think there are people who are already level 25 at the moment. And I assume like some point later on they're going to extend the level cap to 35 maybe. I don't know. I just read that somewhere on Google. It just kind of came out that way. One thing I do want to note is that I feel like the people who answer this question are going to have dramatically different answers based on where you started. So we started in the mountains, but I also made a character in the Riverlands, and I had to walk all the way from the Riverlands up to the mountains. That was like an hour and a half walk. But the thing is, in the Riverlands, that's the first zone that they created and they put in the previous alpha test phases. So I think their intention was to have questing on the side. So if I walked around in the Riverlands, there are people handing out like side quests that are pertinent to like a narrative or like some story that's going on around. And I don't see any of that in this area. It's just kind of like you said, just broad open areas. It's very beautiful to look at if you've just like traversed across the whole thing. But for the most part, it's just like empty mob after mob after mob. And I think it's cool, but honestly, I wish that like I saw a little bit more of the story not being around here.
Yeah, I had not thought about that. I assume, or I saw that there's like certain quests that open up once you progress in, or like a city starts progressing in levels, or the nodes start leveling up,
Hmm.
which I had not taken into account. I have not seen a single one of those. Everything that I've gotten so far is from quest boards. So yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I feel like I just dropped in and had to find my way and level however I could.
So I'm looking around the quest map right now. We're making this video well, it's September 4th, but it's like 1 a.m. in the morning. There's only two rank 2 nodes that are just barely rank 2 in the northern territories in the mountains. And like if you look down in the Riverlands, there's a rank 4 town already, and it is like they're already getting sieged. There's a whole bunch of things happening down there that's just like only happening in the Riverlands. But that's probably because where most of the stuff is happening is like concentrated because there are things to do there. So our experience could be completely different from someone else who's just playing the game down there. And how do you feel about the pace of crafting and leveling if you've tried it at all?
I'm actually in the progress of trying to figure that out at the moment. I do realize that it is very, I don't want to say it's complicated. It's more like, but you do need to spend some time to figure it out. I
Hmm.
wouldn't say it's like impossible. It's not like, I don't know, you have to spend months just to figure out how to make a sword. It's more like, okay, who do I need? What do I need to do? Like, where do I gather these materials? How hard is it to get these materials? Where do I put them together? Oh, it needs to be in a city that has access to these things that I require to craft, which is an issue where we are because there's nothing. So
Yep.
it takes a lot of time for us. It's not like we can just go back to the city and then, oh yeah, here we go. I can just craft everything.
Yeah, I do.
Uh,
I agree with you
Go
there
ahead.
because I've been working with the gathering stuff now. Like, honestly, fishing has been kind of a godsend because I can just AFK and fish for hours on end and not have to worry about like just actively doing anything. But being able to find stuff when I was trying to find things in the Riverlands, like a patch of daffodils or something that wasn't surrounded by like a level 9 mob or something when I was level 5 was just impossible to find. So you could only get like a few pickings here and there. But in the mountains, no one's here. So there's like giant patches of meadows of flowers and things that I can just go and grab, and no one's going to contest it, which is quite nice. But I think the issue with that is there's nowhere to like process any of this stuff. It's really, really unfortunate because if you want to level up your like professions past level 10, you have to get it certified. Well, you don't have to get it certified right away, but to like harvest greater material, you have to go to a certifier and they don't exist in the northern areas. I guess they won't show up until the a node hits tier 3, but I would have to go all the way back down to the Riverlands to get recertified in herbalism. Otherwise, I can't pick any of these like high ranking herbs here. I just kind of find that a little frustrating, but it's not a huge deal. I mean, I'll make that trek. I kind of want to see what's going down there anyways. But I do agree with you that the crafting needs to be a little bit more fleshed out because it is just not super intuitive. I guess like if you watch the videos and you followed everything along Ashes, the tutorials that they kind of put online that are about like an hour long of Steven just doing things, it's not bad. Like he explains it pretty clearly. But if I were just to like jump into the game, because I don't remember exactly every step of the process, it takes a while to figure out. Like when I tried to create our guild certificate, it took me about like 2 hours to figure it out without having to like look up things on how to do it on ashescodex.com. That's kind of like their wiki. Or it's not like their wiki. They do have a wiki, but they also have another site that helps you just like locate things. Yeah, and like you said, you're trying to make a sword right now, or you're trying to make a weapon, I'd say. This next question is, did your character's power, gears, skills, and stats feel like it kept up with the challenges you faced? Why or why not?
Nope, absolutely not. I'm
Yeah.
getting absolutely destroyed by mobs that are my level because I am naked. I am still naked. I have not got had access to any gear, sadly. Not because I'm trying to like make the game harder for myself or anything. It's just there's there's nothing around here where we are. So it has been difficult. I did manage to get some gear yesterday by farming what I assume is one of the dungeons, which people call anvils, I think. I did get some gear and made things a little bit better, a tiny bit better. I can survive better, but things are not tying. I think everything basically relies on what weapon you have. And after looking, at the crafting a little bit, I realized that yes, weapons are not that hard to craft, but again, we go back to the problem that we had earlier where we don't have a lot of crafting stations available at most of the nodes, so it takes a lot of time traveling around, knowing what you have to get, taking it back and forth.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I guess as you said earlier, the experience might be different for people that spawned down south, but for us, or for me personally at least, it's been a struggle. But I guess it'll feel better when I actually get a sword or something.
Yeah, the sheer amount of time it takes just to craft something because of how far apart things are, coupled with like you said, the nodes aren't leveled here, which means like the crafting stations are even spread further apart than they already are, is just really, really frustrating. It's not a big deal if we kind of like knew exactly what we were doing, if we had like a large guild to play with, because like we could already plan out like, hey, you get the lumber, you get the metal, we'll meet up in the middle and we'll just make this thing. But like for solo players and smaller groups, I think it's just like kind of a hassle to do. I, back in the day, there was this game is supposed to be really reminiscent of Arcade, and if anyone remembers, there was a like small taxi service. It was just kind of like a self-pulled cart that took you from one area to another. In World of Warcraft, it would be like the wyverns or griffins that just like flight paths from area to area. But it would be ground and it would be really slow. And you couldn't like put your mounts on it and stuff. Like you couldn't take a whole caravan on it. You could just ride it from one spot to the other. So that I think that would be a good idea just to save me time from having to actively walk around this entire mountain. This takes me like a good probably 10 minutes just to get from one side to the other. And I realize, oh darn, I forgot this one thing. Now I got to go all the way back to process it. It is such a pain in the butt.
It is. It really is, especially with storage as well,
Yeah.
because the amount of stuff that you need or that you might need carrying around is not exactly easy.
Hmm.
Or I guess I don't. It's not the easy is not the word that I'm looking for, but
Inconvenient.
yeah, yeah.
It's just really inconvenient for people like I try to like edit videos or do things on the side, so having to like navigate this mountain is really annoying since it's not exactly a straight path, and if I'm not looking for 1 second I could very well just like fall off the edge of a cliff and die. So it would be really cool just to have something to like fit the gap of time in between. And of course, this wouldn't be an issue if we spawn down below because we would just be in a bigger city. But hey, it is what it is. We will go with the flow. I also kind of feel that our characters' powers were not very up to par with all the stuff that's going on. The skills are really cool and all. I think the skills are fine, The issue is, like you said, gearing. I think you were lucky enough to find gear, but I have not found anything. And I've just been like spending hours on hours just trying to figure out how to craft this one thing. As a solo player, I get it. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be difficult. But I think like just early levels, they should give you a little bit of a break. Like the gap should be not 1 to 10. It should probably be from like 10 to 20 where it starts getting like extremely difficult because then like I'm okay with the bottleneck there, but so early it's a little frustrating. Uh,
Yeah, it is. Like, I think it's been 3 days so far of, because you can't like necessarily spend all of your time just having to figure out what to do to get gear. Because that's the thing. It's not like I'm choosing not to gear my character. It's I had this question of, okay, how do I get gear? Because
right.
these mobs that I'm killing are not dropping gear. The quests are not giving me gear. There's no vendors for gear. How do I get it? And I guess it all pointed to just craft it. But then again, I I can't.
Yeah, it's
I
such a
wish
pain in the
I could just
butt.
yeah.
I guess that goes into the next question. This kind of also already ties into it, but were there any bottlenecks, quests, materials, gold, difficulty spikes that slowed your progression? Please share your details.
That slowed my progression. Just gearing, I suppose.
Yeah. I would say like the sheer lack of quests in this upper area was like oof. I feel like maybe it shouldn't have been released as an area because the starting area inside the mountains, as far as I know, is really cool and fleshed out. But all these outer zones, like here, as far as I know, the tropics don't have a lot of quests. I haven't been to the jungles or the desert yet, but I don't think they have as many as the Riverlands. So everyone just like obviously coalesces there. Um, but it does make the new player experience a little bit more boring, I would say. I hate to use the word boring, but I feel like they could spice it up a little bit. Another
Yeah.
thing that I do find extremely frustrating, and I know like we were trying to quest the other day and this happened, but they need to be like a lot more specific with what you should be doing on these quests. Because like yesterday we were looking for bear pelts or something, and there's like two bears in this entire zone where there's like a million bears everywhere else. And we had to kill like two specific bears within this small circle, and we're supposed to collect the pelts from them. I'm like, okay, how do we do that? Do we skin them? Do we have to capture them? Do we just it just says slay the bears. So we've been killing bears for like 20 minutes, and they didn't drop a single one of the things that we needed. Like I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
frustrating. Another time we were like there was a quest to like find some bandits at the surge conduit thing. I still have this quest. It says rotten rogues. Eliminate rot water bandits. It's like here's the circle. Here's like four different entrances to this like giant hill thing. And they're all level two elites. Like this isn't something people can take on with just like one or two people. You need like a whole group to get in here. But it's not necessarily like we couldn't even find them. Like I did go in here with a group earlier and I couldn't find these rogues. I thought that was also really frustrating. They just need to be clear like, is it the time of day? Is it something you have to specifically do with it? Just include little things in the tooltip because if I have to go outside of Ashes to find it on a website anyways, then you might as well just put it in the game.
Yeah. I agree with that. Some of the quests I was gonna bring that up as well. Like, I wouldn't mind if it were as grindy as it is in terms of like leveling. Like, okay, I get it. You want to make it so it takes a long time to level. Okay, but I don't. I should be that long time shouldn't come from me trying to find what I'm supposed to do. It should be from me actually playing the game. Oh, I have to go kill I don't know mountain lions, and this area has a lot of mountain lions, but no, they gave me a quest to kill, as you said, bears in a tiny place where there's only two and they don't drop the thing, or like yeah, go kill these rogues. Where? Like I guess the circle is here. Are they up top? No, they're not. At the bottom, I don't see a single one. So there's like just there's an hour just gone me trying to find the thing that I'm supposed to kill or how I'm supposed to do it rather than I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a camp of highwayman raiders and there's a bunch of them. There's like fucking 20 of them. Kill 20 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Mm-hmm. At the very least, like they should just give you a little bit of clue. Like if they don't want to tell you straight out, because sometimes it's like they'll do it in a narrative way where it's like, oh, we're telling a story, so they don't know the exact location. Like maybe includes some context clues as to where they are. Like if you ever played WoW, well, you have played WoW, and like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, in the Frozen Throne expansion, or what was it, ICC, there's like a lot of elevated things because they introduced flying to the thing. So sometimes like when you're in the boreal place, like there's flying cigarettes in the sky. Like is it in the cigarette, is it on the ground? I don't know, but it only takes me like maybe 30 seconds to find it. But in this game it takes me like, I'm hovering over this mountain right here, but this small mountain here probably takes me like 20 minutes to go, maybe less than that, maybe 15 minutes to go all the way around and just check everything. Plus it's swarming with mobs. There it is, just a
Yeah,
million gajillion mobs everywhere. I cannot get away.
yeah. That's the other thing that I wanted to mention. It's like it'd be maybe not as bad if I could check around the place, but you
Mhm.
can't because there's like hawks on top of bears, on top of mountain lions, on top of bandits, on top of and if you walk the wrong way, everything is gonna aggro on you. You have to run away, come back, keep looking. So it's just a lot of time lost doing those things.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Which I
will.
guess as a group, it probably is not as bad as you said. This is coming from us playing the game basically solo on the other side of the world, where everything apparently is just barren, and I feel like we're playing the game on hardcore. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Having a small group of friends is like nice because our other friend that's playing with us is a cleric, and then we have a tank who is on the other side of the map. But we're trying to do things like take things slow. It's definitely meant to be played with a group. Like all the big guilds right now, I think like the quote unquote meta is grinding dungeons as a group, like constantly just grinding dungeons. And I can see why like the conflict has already started down there, like who's fighting who. So I mean, we'll see how that pans out, especially as they start to fill out the map more. They said, just a little bit of an update for people who are watching right now. They did mention in their last live stream that they're going to have small patches full of content every 3 weeks, and then large content patches every 6 weeks. So that's a little under a month, and for all the small ones, and a little over a month for all the big ones. Oh, sorry. One more thing I want to mention about the quest materials and the materials and stuff that we were looking for. I honestly think that the gold sync stuff is a good idea somewhat. I'm not sure how I feel about this because, as you know, making money in this game is like incredibly difficult. Aside from selling glint, which unless you're like super grinding dungeons, which some people are, it's really difficult to find money. And then the like needing the grinding stone is kind of what's the word for it? It's like a gold sink. I honestly don't think it's great. At the very least, as a solo player, it's pretty frustrating to do. I don't know if you run into the situation where it's like I just don't have the money for this. It took me like a whole, what was it, 2 days worth of just straight up grinding for money to have enough money to get the guild certificate to make our guild. It costed 1 gold, and I was like, it shouldn't take me that long to get a gold. If it does, it does. I think that's fine, but it was a little frustrating for a solo player. If it was a little bit more clear about how to make more money faster, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, and if Trevin wants to put a guide out there, or if they want to put a resource bag out there for me to make a guide for it, I'd be happy to do so. But for right now, it's really unclear how a solo player is supposed to make money.
yeah, it is. It's I found that as you said, what works the best at the moment is just killing mobs and just selling the glint. But I don't think that's how they thought of. Hey guys, this is how you're gonna make money. You're just gonna kill mobs. I
Right.
think they probably had a better idea of like, oh, it's gonna be through like selling stuff, crafting. Is gonna like it's gonna create an economy. I think they had like big plans for it, but at the moment it's like just like okay, well, I'm at the other end of the world. There's no one. There's a bunch of nodes which are underleveled. There's no marketplace. There's no trading happen because
Hmm.
if we're not in a big guild, that's the other thing. I get it that maybe it's easier if you get into a big guild because then you have access to a lot of other people. But I don't think. your ability to play the game should be, I mean, it is dictated by your group to an extent, because at the end of the day, if you want to do endgame content, you do need to be with people. You do need numbers.
Right.
But I don't think it should be like me leveling up and being able to do the things that I need to do to level up and actually keep up with the mobs, which is like getting gear, because I can't. I'm level 10 and I still don't have a full set of gear. I'm still running around with my starting gear. I don't think I should need people in order to get to the end game. I mean, you do need people because you have to play. It's complicated. I don't like. There should
Mhm.
be a way for you to do quests and progress yourself without being gatekept by the fact that you don't have access to a bunch of people that can get you stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to word it correctly, but like,
I mean, like this was part of. I feel like Intrepid did mention that as part of their design philosophy. That it's like you could level up solo if you wanted to. It's a lot slower. Like right now, I'm almost level 12 just straight up from fishing for a day. Like I did nothing. I just worked on the side. I was editing videos and stuff, and I started today at level 11. Just left myself on fishing for the entire time. Like occasionally went to repair my rod every hour and a half or so and just went back to fishing and I'm almost 12. Like you can level up all the way just by gathering or crafting or fishing or whatever. But like there's a way for you to get higher things without as a solo player. But it's not like the designated path that I think that's traditional for most MMOs. And I do think I don't know if that's an issue for some people or not. I personally don't care. Like because
I think it matters personally because as you mentioned that, yeah, you just AFK and fish. Yeah, but I don't get into like at least me personally, I don't find it exciting to get into Ashes of Creation to AFK and fish.
right, right.
That's I want to get into Ashes of Creation to like, use my skills, hit stuff, level up, do quests,
Mm-hmm.
progress, not just yeah. I'm gonna open up the game and as I would an auto clicker on my phone, just let it level up like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. So this just shows that having a big group definitely helps. So I guess now would be a good time to plug the guild. Hysteria is a high profile competitive PvX guild, and we're a community that mixes hardcore gamers with casual players to produce successful teams with a competitive edge. Our leadership consists of experienced MMORPG players, as well as peak tier rankers in games such as League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, etc. etc. Our goal is to have a dominating presence in Ashes via PvP and world influence. Come check us out on our Discord server, linked down below. Okay, and now on to the last question. What was the most satisfying? Oh, sorry, there's two more questions. At what
Hmm.
point, if any, did progression start feeling grindy instead of fun? What specifically caused that feeling?
I can't get gear.
Yeah, okay, that one's pretty quick. Honestly, a
Yeah,
lot of things are just related to like I can't get gear. We're in the boonies. This place sucks.
yeah, pretty
um,
much.
and I guess we just move on to the last question then. What was the most satisfying and the most frustrating part of progression for you?
The most satisfying.
Mhm.
I think one really good thing. I don't know if this is going to be kept for the actual release of the game, but being able to respec like on the
Mhm.
fly whenever I want is pretty useful because I do feel like your spec changes depending on what you're doing. At least personally, I think being able to take different, like actually make choices for what my character can do, and then just, oh, I'm gonna be in the dungeon now. I should probably spec into more AOE heavy skills. I think being able to change it whenever is pretty good,
Mhm.
as well as like other things that you can just reset. I don't know if it's gonna be kept in the game. I do see. What should I say? I do see a scenario in which they take it away and they only make it so you can respec in cities or something or nodes.
Mhm.
So you have to like make a decision on what you're doing, and if you want to change, you have to go back and then retrain or something. But yeah. What's up?
I think it'd be really cool now that you bring it up, is to do it the way WoW does. They had like a secondary page you can just like swap to, but it's only one other page. It's not like you can change your things whenever you wanted to. this might be like an older WoW thing, but it was like you couldn't respec anytime you wanted to, but um, you had like a second one you could just flip to one for PvP, one for PvE, or you could do like one for this spec, one for another spec. Like I thought that would be pretty neat to implement, but yeah, I don't think it's
Yes, it
actually
would
going to
be.
be a feature to just respec whenever you want into in game. What they said was like it's supposed to be a long, arduous process, or not super long. I think it was supposed to be like just mundane, but it would take time.
To respec?
Yeah, like you have to do
Oh no.
a small respecking quest and then pay some money and then they'll just do it
Oh,
for you.
but wouldn't that be for when you have two classes available? Maybe respecing is like in the sense of
Oh,
taking
you mean
another
just
subclass?
putting things in your tree? Yeah, I don't know
Yes, in the
about
tree.
that one. That one we probably need more specific information. If they have it, I guess they'll give it to us.
Yeah, because I do think that changing your subclass should be a longer process than just hitting, return points. I think
Hmm.
I do agree with that. But yeah, I was talking specifically about the talent tree where you can just put points into stuff and unlock skills.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Um. Yeah. This interview
Did I answer the
does.
question properly?
I think so. It's probably fine. That was like the most satisfying part of progression. I mean, like being able to change your path, I guess, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
testing out things, not fearing commitment, because if I put a point here, then I'm fucked. I can't change it anymore.
Yeah.
I can't bleep.
I think for me, I really enjoyed that too. I can't really say that like there's anything super cool or unique. Getting the new skills is fun. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm only level 11 right now, so I haven't been able to test out the higher ones, but I'll get there when I get there because solo leveling as a cleric is kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, you know what's crazy? Today is the day after September 5th, and Intrepid just released a patch that says that they're going to be offering basic gear on vendors now. And I just looked in. It's 5 p.m. after their patch time. And look, okay, well, I'm glad they're listening. I didn't even post this video yet, but I'm glad that they're taking feedback in stride. It must have been a lot of people that were complaining about the same issue, and they did something about it really, really quick. That's crazy. I love that, and I'm looking forward to see what they do next. All right. And that's all we have today for the interview. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be sure to post this on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on our socials. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and comment to the channel. And where can they find you, Anju?
On Twitch at Anju Valse. I should be streaming there. Mostly FPS games. I might be streaming more Ashes later down the line, but at the moment it's just
Oh,
Apex
yippee.
and maybe Marvel Rivals.
Awesome. Yeah, it might take a little bit for me to get back into streaming Ashes for long periods of time, but I, we'll get down to it. I want to make more content for this in the future, so you'll probably seeing much more of me later on. And Anju. So thank you guys so much for stopping by the channel, and we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.